Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to make a short video talking to you guys about interval integrity, what that is, and why I think that's important to your training. Now, as far as what interval, what is an interval? I mean, let's start at the most basic, fundamental thing. What is an interval? And an interval really is nothing more than a duration of time. And an interval can range anywhere from, one or, just a few seconds to obviously, dozens of minutes, or actually you can even consider a couple of hours to be an interval. But an interval is nothing more than a duration of time, and obviously, intervals can range, wildly in duration. Pretty much any duration of time can be an interval. So an interval is just nothing more than a duration of time. Now, and as far as interval integrity, when I talk about interval integrity, what I'm really talking about is basically through the duration of that interval, keeping your body posture and keeping your pedaling technique pretty much the same at the end of the interval as it is at the beginning of the interval. So at the most basic level, the best way for me to explain this is when you're doing your intervals, whether it be indoors, outside in the road, whatever you're doing, when you're doing intervals, and regardless of the duration of time, you should be trying to focus, okay, on maintaining your pedaling technique and your pedaling style for the duration of the interval. And if you cannot achieve that, if once you start seeing your performance dive off during the interval, or your pedaling technique, break apart during the interval, then that is your time, to know that it's time to cut that interval short, okay? Because you simply, at the end of the day, you don't want to train your body to do something the wrong way. So, you'll see, if you guys have been following me on Strava, you'll notice that essentially, I've been doing a lot of trainer road sweet spot intervals lately, and those have been pretty, those have been longer interval type stuff. I mean, anywhere from 5 to 20-minute long sweet spot intervals. And you'll see that if you look at my Strava, that I've been pretty good at getting through the entire duration of the intervals. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm able to keep my form and my pedaling technique consistent through the intervals. Now, what you can't see here, when I'm training, is if I had an interval or 2 or 3 or whatever, where I wasn't able to, like, say, I'm just gonna walk you guys through a basic interval for me. Like right now, when I'm doing my trainer road intervals, okay, I'm doing every single interval out of the saddle, okay, because I'm trying to train my out of saddle ability, because in my opinion, that is where I'm the strongest, and that is where I have my greatest physical capabilities on the bike. So I want to train I want to train my body to ride effectively and efficiently out of the saddle. So I'm doing every interval out of the saddle. And like, let's just say right now I was doing my workout, and I had a 10-minute sweet spot interval I had to do, and the power target was 295 watts. Okay, at the start of that interval, I'm out of the saddle, and I'm probably going to be somewhere, right now, I'd be somewhere, 57 to 59 cadence probably, is what I've been doing lately here on the rollers inside. And as long as I can maintain that 57 to 59 cadence with good pedaling technique, then I'm on target, okay? Now, if I was, and I've been able to get through those. I haven't had any instances where my performance has dropped off, fortunately. But now, if it had been, like, say I got to minute 5, and, all of a sudden my cadence is down to 50, 51, and my form is breaking apart, then regardless of how much longer I've got in the interval, I need to shut this down, because I don't want to train my body to perform this work, inefficiently or in the wrong manner. So, interval integrity is really nothing more than keeping your cycling technique, your pedaling technique, and your form on point through the duration of the interval, regardless of how long that interval is, And once your performance starts breaking down, if it does, that's when you need to stop the interval, because you don't want to train your body to do these intervals and to perform this work in the wrong way. Because at the end of the day, whether it's cycling, football, basketball, any type of, physical activity, any type of sport, any type of, competition, all, pretty much training is training. And no matter what sport you're doing, you want to train your body to get efficient at doing whatever it is you want to do. You want to train your body to do that efficiently all of the time. So once your performance starts diving off in those intervals, if it does, if it doesn't, great, keep going. But if your performance is declining, like say you go into an interval and your plan is to go into this interval in the 52 chain ring, and let's say your gearing is 52 up front, and just say 17 in the back. You're going into this interval in the 52-17, and you're going in there 80 cadence, okay? And you're going through the interval. You've got a 5-minute interval going. You start at that, and things are going good. And now at minute, 3 minutes, at that 3 minutes and 35 seconds into the interval, your performance is starting to die off. Now your cadence is down in the mid-70s. You're starting to bog down. But, don't just continue slogging through that interval to think, I've got to get through this interval. If your performance is breaking down, it's breaking down for a reason. And in my opinion, you'd be better served to simply cut the interval short and come back and do that same work when you feel ready to do that, whether it's the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later, whatever the case may be. Come back and do that work. Continue doing that work at 80 cadence in the same gearing when you have the physical capability to do that. And maybe next time you can go for 3 minutes and 45 seconds or 3 minutes and 50 seconds or whatever. Or maybe you get through the whole 5-minute interval. But the bottom line here is you want to maintain interval integrity for the duration of the intervals. And once your integrity starts dying off, in my opinion, I think you're doing more harm than good. I think you'd be better served to come back when you're ready to do so. So I thought this was important, to make a video on this, guys. I know a lot of people out there that think that, because they've got, a certain amount of intervals on the plan for the day or whatever their goal going into the day was. I know a lot of people think they have to slog through that time duration no matter what. And, I don't think that's a good idea. I think interval integrity is more important, that maintaining interval integrity is more important than just simply completing the intervals under any circumstance. So, I hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Like I said, I'm going to try to continue to make more of these kind of videos, informational vlogs to the channel. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below. I'll do my best to answer. And as always, I appreciate the support of the channel, guys. And I look forward to seeing you right back here in my next video.